All right, today we're talking about Bangladesh because what just happened there is frankly astounding. A student protest over job quotas somehow snowballed into a full-blown revolution that toppled a 15-year-old government, leaving a nation of 170 million people wondering what on earth comes next.
So let's get right to it, because the speed of this is it's almost hard to wrap your head around. Just last month, students are protesting job quotas. A few weeks later, boom, the prime minister's fleeing the country. And right now, the military is stepping in, trying to keep a lid on things.
And we have to talk about the human cost here, because it has been staggering. To give you a sense of just how volatile things got, on Monday alone, the very same day the Prime Minister left, at least 109 people were killed. That number just speaks volumes about the intensity of this moment.
So, you gotta ask, right? How does a government that's been in power for 15 years, led by the world's longest-serving female leader no less, just completely collapse in a matter of days? Let's dig into it.
I mean, the second her helicopter was in the air, it was like a switch was flipped. A massive power vacuum just opened up, and the reaction on the ground was immediate and, well, chaotic. You had protesters storming her home, and the streets were this wild mix of pure celebration, deep-seated anger, and, yes, a lot of looting.
But you know, the crazy thing is, this whole thing didn't start out as some grand nationwide revolution. Not at all. It began with something much, much smaller, a single issue that really struck a nerve with the country's youth.
So here's pretty much how it went down. Step 1. Students are out in the streets, angry about job quotas. Step 2. The government cracks down. Things turn violent, and that violence acts like a spark in a tinderbox. And that leads to Step 3. Suddenly, it's not just about jobs anymore. It's a nationwide movement demanding one thing: the Prime Minister has to go.
Okay, so Sheikh Hasina is gone. There's no government, which brings us to the most critical question of all. Who is actually in charge right now? The entire country is just in limbo.
In a power vacuum like this, someone has to step up. And the student leaders, the ones who really got this whole movement going, they've put a name forward. And it's a name that's pretty well known around the world.
And that person is the Nobel Peace Prize winner Muhammad Yunus. In a recent interview, he did not mince words. He called the country an occupied land under Sheikh Hasina, who he said acted like a dictator. That's a pretty powerful statement from the guy being tapped to lead the transition.
And really, you couldn't paint a starker contrast. On one side, you've got Sheikh Hasina, in power for 15 years, and increasingly accused of being an authoritarian. And on the other, you have Muhammad Yunus, a Nobel laureate who's been a prominent opposition figure for years.
So to really get why so many people were so angry, you have to look at the two very different sides of Sheikh Hasina's long time in power. It's a real story of contradictions.
This slide right here, this is the whole story in a nutshell. On one hand, an undeniable economic boom. We're talking 7% growth a year before COVID, huge leaps in health and literacy, a booming garment industry. But, and this is a huge but, on the other hand, you have this steady democratic decline, ruling with an iron grip, jailing journalists, crushing the opposition. So the question for so many people became, is economic progress worth the price of your freedom?
And believe me, this crisis is not happening in a bubble. It has massive implications for the whole region, especially for Bangladesh's giant next-door neighbor, India.
Just to put this into perspective, India and Bangladesh share a 4,000-kilometer border. A lot of it is pretty porous. So what that means is, whatever happens in Bangladesh, it does not stay in Bangladesh. Any kind of instability is an immediate security concern for India.
So India is walking a serious diplomatic tightrope. On one hand, they've given refuge to their old ally Sheikh Hasina, but on the other, they're being super careful not to tick off whoever comes next, officially calling it an internal matter. It's the classic wait-and-watch approach while they try to figure out who's going to be in charge.
Okay, so the old regime is gone. The big question is, what now? The challenges facing Bangladesh are just immense. It's hard to overstate it.
The to-do list is enormous. First things first, they've got to restore some kind of law and order. That's job one. But then they have to put together a new government that people actually trust. And they have to do all of this while trying to unite a country that is incredibly polarized right now.
And that really is the question, isn't it? The one that 170 million people are asking. The old way is gone, but what's going to replace it? Is this the start of a new, more hopeful chapter for Bangladesh? Or is the country just at the beginning of even more uncertainty? The answer is going to shape the future for a massive part of the world.